Hello and welcome to In Business Talks 2, a weekly podcast about people who work together as a couple, learn the secrets of business partnerships, the benefits and pitfalls of working together, be it husband and wife, father and son, mother and daughter, friends, relatives or any other combination of business partnerships. We are your hosts, Tracy and Danielle, founders of In Business, a networking and business support community, and together
we are In Business. As well as speaking with other couples, we'll let you know of any useful business apps and websites out there that our members have come across and shared with us at our regular online networking meetings. Plus, we'll tell you about our special bonus episode coming up this Friday, our Friday Fix, so be sure to listen all the way through to the end to find out more. So without further ado, let's crack on with In Business Talks 2. So I'd like to welcome our guests today. We have Jill White and Andy Hanselman, who are a husband and wife team, and they're going to tell us a little bit more about what it's like being in business together as a couple.
Thank you. Welcome, guys. Good to see you both. Can I start by asking, can you just give us your company name, guys, before we just, what's your company name?
It is called Andy Hanselman Consulting.
Oh, right. That's easy to remember then.
There is a story.
Oh, right. We might get to that then. Right. Excellent. Good to meet you guys. Thank you for coming along. Appreciate it.
Great to have you.
So let's start with the first question, and it's going to be, whose idea then was it to get in business together? What made that happen? How did it start?
Well, we worked for somebody else we're a consulting business, and we worked for somebody else 27 plus years ago, working in the business. And basically, they sort of changed direction, and I decided, and then we were forced to actually set up our own business. For the first 6 months, we did things separately.
So there was Jill White Associates then.
Right.
And then we started a business called Hallmarks Business Development.
Yeah.
Which was helping businesses grow and develop, entrepreneurial businesses, grow and develop. We ran training programs, spoke at events, and we worked that together. So we started together as just good friends.
Yeah, so we were the business that we were in took a different focus. We were then told, what do you want to do? And it was really sign on or start up. And at that time, we started up. Andy is much more a natural entrepreneur than I am. He was like, yeah, let me go. I was like, ooh, not so sure. So we had 6 months where we both worked individually. Then after 6 months, that's when we came together, which was in May 1995. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Oh, see the bags all these years. We've survived. So then that in May 95, that's when we came together. And that was our first business, which was called Hallmarks Business Development, which was the work we'd done in the company that we then took on and started our own business doing that.
Right.
What
sort of work was it? What do you actually do, guys? Just expand a bit on what you do.
So then it was running. The first thing was core programs for entrepreneurs, people running businesses. Typically, it was what we called owner manager moving to team manage, where they'd run their own business, built it to a size where it was still maybe too reliant on them, doing things on their own. So we developed, just researched and developed a model that really helped people develop their people. So that was the core of what we did. That was the core program. We ran those all around the country, really, didn't we?
Yeah, it was called, we'd done some research, and then we wrote a book, or the guy that we worked with wrote a book called The Hallmarks for Business Success. So we've got these key characteristics, what successful businesses do have and do. So we used to do, Andy speaks a lot at conferences and events, we used to do presentations about it. And people said, oh, this is great, we want more. So we developed that into a training program. And we still do that in some shape and form. Obviously, sort of developed on over the years. And we bring groups of, at that time, it was owner managers and directors of growing, fast growth businesses, brought them together to go through this program. So at the start, we would have these programs. Well, we were all over the country, weren't we?
Right.
We grew the business doing that.
Yeah.
And how does what you do now differ from that?
It's better.
It's refined, obviously. It's refined.
What happened was we built the business. We got to about a dozen people, didn't we?
Yeah. So it was a 10-year plan.
And we had this 10-year plan that the business, because we'd seen it from other businesses, that within 10 years would run without us. To build a business that still we would be involved, it would run without us. At 9 years, I had a triple heart bypass. And it did run without me for a bit. And we suddenly thought, right, this is the time to do it. So we were we basically said, right, we're going to sell this to the management team and start again.
Yeah.
And I decided I was going to start. Jill decided she didn't really want to get involved initially.
Which is where Andy Hanselman
So
comes into it.
people said, look, it's going to be you. I had no desire to create a business with lots of people the next time round. I just wanted it to be. So people said, look, you're the brand, it's you, call it Andy Hanselman Consulting. So that
speaks at conferences and events, and he is the brand, Andy Hanselman is the brand. So I kind of let it go because, I do a lot of female entrepreneurs and female networks, and everybody's like, how can you do that when it's Andy Hanselman Consulting? Which is a bit tricky at times, but because I'm comfortable with it, very comfortable with it, because Andy is, he writes the books, he speaks at the conferences, he is the brand.
Well, I suppose then the heart bypass must have been seeing you have a bit of a life-changing moment, was it? Did that make you rethink? Do you think, I just want a lifestyle business now, I don't want to be global, or was it a bit of a rethink?
No, we do want to be global, we still want to keep doing that.
Oh, right.
But I think it was more about the responsibility, particularly now in COVID times, I used to have, all sorts of sayings, really. What was I used to have what's my thing? PMT.
PMT was
PWT.
No, PWT. Jill used to get PWT, which is pre-wages tension. We've got money to pay the bills.
Yeah.
And we always,
It's a pressure, isn't it? It's a pressure.
It is a pressure, and I think that was the thing. Andy's experience. It was family history. His mum, it was his 40th birthday. His mum bought him a whole singing, all dancing health check. We thought she was crazy, but it showed she saved his life.
Wow.
The check, boom, hospital. So So yeah, you're right. It was a massive life change, but we both felt that we wanted to stay in business, but we perhaps didn't want the additional pressure and the responsibility of people and salaries and wages that went with it. So that's really was our choice to dance.
Yeah, it was. And the team we had, it was a great team. It was our family,
it was. It was my baby.
We took apprentices on and grew them and developed them. People, and we're still in touch with quite a few people. In fact, we were supposed to have a 25-year anniversary party last year. So we actually just did it virtually, and we've got people together that hadn't seen each other for years, and it was really good.
Yeah, Kuwait, India, all over, so it's lovely now, because I think, when you are a small business and a small team, and sadly haven't got children, that business really was my baby, and developing it, and it was wonderful. It still is wonderful, but those early days were really, really special.
And I suppose it's nice seeing other people that you've helped develop, if you like, doing well, isn't it? That's nice. That's got to be a nice feeling, hasn't it? Yeah,
absolutely. And that's the same with clients. We've still got some clients now that we had 25 years ago.
Boy and man.
We've seen them and their sons, daughters, grandkids, whoever. Some of them taking over the businesses and growing them, and we've kept in touch with people because that's what we like doing.
And with our own team, one of the things that I really like is there's, maybe 5 or 6 of them that are now self-employed, aren't they? They've gone on to run their own because, they were so close to it with us, and they did see all the highs, the lows, the PWT, they absolutely lived it, and it's quite nice that they've now gone on and set up their own as well.
Yeah, so it sounds like you've got a shared vision for the business.
Yes, absolutely.
Even though it sounds on the outside like it is just Andy's business, and
it's definitely not.
Definitely not.
No.
Deliver stuff, but all the stuff that gets me in the first place.
Yeah, and there are 3 people in this business. We've heard this before, haven't we? There are 3 people in this business. So we've got Danielle, and actually the way I often describe it is minder, finder, grinder, and it tends to be that I, most of the time, using old Pareto 80-20, I'm the finder, so I'm the networker, I'm the making connections, going out, seeing people, doing lots of things. So I do a lot of the finding. Andy's the grinder. He's out there delivering, running the courses, sort of writing the books, doing whatever it is. And then Danielle, bless her, poor thing, and she's our finder.
She has to look after her.
Hold it all together and hold us all together. But it does really work.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good way of putting it. I haven't heard of
that's
that.
good, isn't it? No, you're right. No, it's a good analogy, that, isn't it? Yeah.
When I speak to entrepreneurs, we actually say, because some, for example, a classic one is those that love being out there knocking the doors down. They're the finders. Well, if you're not very good at minding, find somebody that can.
Yeah.
Like strengths, do the things you're good at, and that's really what we do. So, for example, finance, filling in for, I'm rubbish at it, but I know I am.
Yeah.
And I just don't get involved.
Yeah, it's pretty much like we are, really, because I tend to be
roles, don't we?
I tend to be the one that sort of has these brainstorms and ideas.
He's the blue sky thinker.
I like to call myself a blue sky thinker, but you're the one that actually makes it work, aren't you? Really, I think
I'm the doer. I'm the grinder.
I don't know what I am, but yeah.
No, we've yet to find what you are.
I can relate to that. Yeah, it works, doesn't it? It works. Yeah. Play to your strengths, don't you?
Yeah. Doesn't it? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And do you hold each other accountable? Is that something you do, or do you just need to just get on with it?
I don't know if we do. I mean, we do. What we will do, and again, if I'm honest, Jill probably better than me. We'll maybe suddenly say, right, let's have a sit down and just check where are we now, what needs to happen. But we're not very much. Why haven't you done this? Why haven't you done that? Because we are both passionate about what we do.
He's obsessed.
And Danielle's the same. Danielle will crack on and do stuff. It's that. We've got some clear pictures where we want to be, but we don't have a board meeting. Right, we've got to do this week. But we do. We've got a set of things we know we need to achieve, don't we?
Yeah, I think even now that we're older, but we are still very passionate about what we do. We know our purpose. We know what we're about, and we both love it so much. That we actually, I have to literally tear Andy away, and he's like, but I like it, But I enjoy it, and I enjoy it. But I think, that's probably one of our challenges.
Yeah.
Is it balance? Having more balance.
But because it's doing things you like,
it's not difficult, is it? If it's something you like, it doesn't seem hard, does it? That's the thing, yeah. It's not a problem, is it? I mean, obviously you've been going, 26 years, was it? 26 years? So during that time then, you must have had differences of opinion about things. How do you, I'm sure you must, how do you resolve those? And has being married made it easier to resolve the business issues, if you know what I mean, as opposed to maybe being just business partners? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no. We don't have that many different, I mean... I guess because, and again, when we talk to entrepreneurs, we talk about, what are the values the business has. We've got very, very similar ways of doing things. We want to make friends with people. We want to do the right way. Yeah, we want to make a profit, but we don't particularly want to be multi-billionaires taking on the world. So we don't have to, and I think maybe again, because of where we are now, we don't have to make massive decisions. In the old days, decisions around taking people on or letting people go.
Yeah, we probably did. When you reflect and look back, maybe some recruitment decisions. We did have a really bad experience with recruitment in our previous business that did have quite a damaging effect on the whole business. And I knew from the start.
Women's intuition, feminine intuition.
But sort of Andy and the other guy we had as a partner, they were hoodwinked. But anyway, moving quickly on. So I think,
well, you live and learn, don't you?
Yeah, you learn by experiences sometimes, don't you?
So I think actually, I would struggle to think.
Yeah, because I think we know what we want to do. We know the clients we like to work with.
Yeah.
And that's
the
what
finance can be, but again, I think it works. I can be more the cautious, realistic, feet on the ground. He can be like, woo, let's do this. But again, I think that bringing it together, we do need, it's certainly, without a doubt, I'm a Barnsley girl, I didn't know anybody who'd run a business. My mum worked at the court, my dad worked down the pit, and I didn't know anybody who'd actually done anything. But I am, the electric bill comes and you run and you pay it sort of thing, You didn't have anything outstanding, all that sort of thing. Whereas Andy, public school boy, so a bit more sort of worldly wise, travel, all that. This is what. So I think that combination did sort of, but it works now, doesn't it? It does work. And he's stretched me. I am much more gung ho. Let's do it. Let's try it. Whereas I think I would have been a bit more cautious.
Yeah, it sort of brought you out a bit of what you would have been. Yeah,
we're finding that speaking to other couples that one's definitely more going for it out there, and the other has to rein them in a little bit, and then you find that middle ground, and I think that's kind of what it's all about.
And that's probably what makes businesses and relationships work, I think, really, isn't it? Isn't it? We're pretty much the same, aren't we?
We work with a lot of businesses where we get the board of directors together, look at where they're going, and obviously not necessarily married, but they have the same ethos, the same values, and then if they've got that, that's the start. They can then work out where they want to go, what they want to do as a result of that. And I think that's the key bit, is sometimes it's just getting it out there. Again, sometimes I see that we work with people that work with it for years. And so when they sit down and start talking about what they want from it and what they want to do,
it's very different.
Very, very different picture to where they want to get to. And they wanted to grow the business. That's something one wants to step back, or one wants to double in size. Well, let's just work that out now and work out what we're going to do.
Yeah, yeah.
So when you started your business, you weren't married. Yeah. I've got a question here. So have you found being in business has strengthened or changed your personal relationship? Well, it obviously clearly has in your case, hasn't it? Yeah. Changed from being business partners to being life partners, I suppose. If you like what you hear so far, make sure you never miss a show by clicking the subscribe or follow button. This podcast is made possible because of listeners like you. So thank you. We really appreciate your support. Now back to the show.
I mean, we were life partners quite early on, weren't we?
Yes, yeah.
Yes, I think a year in. Was it a year?
Yeah, we started 95, and it was a September 96 that we were official. 96. So we've been together most of it.
Works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does work. It does work.
Do you think it's easier then in business if you sort of, I'm not strange question, but because you're married, do you think that makes running a business easier? And because we find, I don't know about you, but do you talk about your business all the time as well? If you're not careful, it can take over your life. You can be just doing anything on the weekend when you should be switching off. We end up talking about, shall we do that now? Shall we think, hang on a minute, let's just. Is that the same with you guys?
So, for example, if we go on holiday, because it is just us two, we don't have, we'll still take emails and deal with those things, and we understand each other. Now, again, what we don't want to do is spend all day doing that, but we recognise if things have to happen if we're on holiday, we'll do it. Whereas maybe if you've got one person in business and the other person isn't, what are they doing now?
Yeah, I think you've got a shared understanding, haven't you? And like I say, we've got a place in Portugal, to Portugal a lot, and I'll sort of be, I don't know, reading something, or I'll see something, and I'll say to him, that's a really good example, or something, whilst I'm on my sunbed or whatever, not that I'm, sort of obsessed with it, but you see things and bring that. And actually, mentioning that, we probably picked up one of our biggest clients ever whilst on holiday,
that's the way to do it.
How did that happen then? What happened then?
Did you just chat somebody? Just got chatting to the daughter, first of all, to the daughter, and then got talking to Carol, and had a couple of drinks. We used to do a lot of work up in the northeast. She was the chief exec of the Entrepreneurs Forum, which was a big network of entrepreneurial businesses. We just kept in touch, and they became, for one of our biggest clients.
Wow.
So what we should have done is put that holiday down to business expenses.
Yeah. Made a mistake there. You slipped up there, guys.
What would you say is the best thing about being in business together?
I think, for me, I think it is that fusion. Well, it's our business as well. The fusion of business and social. For instance, we do normally go out quite a lot and go to a lot of dinners and go to things after work. And like I've been at, I don't know, it's a business awards thing or whatever, and I've been sat on a table and somebody said, "Oh gosh, this is my third night out this week. I'm really going to be in trouble with the other half. I've got to go home. I've got to do that." Whereas like I think, we're here, we're together. We're doing it together. So it's those shared experiences and also I personally, the highs and the lows. I think it's lovely having somebody to share the highs with. As much as sharing the lows with, because there are always times, back to when we were the bigger business, there are always times when I'm just sick of this, I've had enough, I want to pack it in, all this sort of thing. And they'd be like, oh, come on, don't be ridiculous. And then very, very occasionally, Andy would have this, God, this is crazy, this is too much. And I'd be like, oh, come on, we can do this together. So that constant,
Yeah.
Um,
And I think, I said, because we do have a lot of clients who become friends, going out on business do's isn't a chore, and I think, if I'm honest, we tend to work with people we like. So if we don't like them, then we wouldn't go out with them.
No, of course.
I wouldn't work with them, to be honest.
Watching this.
We go out with people so the things merge together, but equally we still, we're not in each other's hands all the time. There was times when Jill goes to do and I don't, and vice versa, and so it's not as if we're just clinging to each other.
And equally, we're not, we can be on separate tables, like, get me a drink. We have got our own lives as well, but we've sort of got an independent, but we've got a together, and I think my one add one makes three kind of thing, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, good. So if you could do it all again, guys, would you?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Good. Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. No.
And do you have any tips or advice for anyone thinking of going into business with their other half?
I think it's about making sure you have got the same vision about where you want to get to. But I'd argue that's the same with whether they're married or not. And then I think the other one, which again I think applies to any business, is just clarify who's doing what.
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean to say that this only person only does it, but just who. And it's playing to strengths. Do the things you're good at, and work out those things.
I would say give it a go, but I equally, I don't think it's for everyone. And I think that's the thing with business as well. You'll meet people, I'm sure you do, and they say, you work with your husband. How must that be? What's that like? Whereas I can't really see it any other way, But there are strengths and weaknesses. If you take this last year, who would have thought? But again, that's worked in our favour because he's in the bedroom, I'm in the kitchen sort of thing. But we do, we're together and we're shared, and, I don't feel that we're sort of not together, and it's been good. The downside is that if both of your income is coming out of the one business, which is what happened, it's not as though we've got other pals saying, we're still in the corporate, we're still getting the salary coming through and all that. You're not, because both of you are in that business, and both of you, not many people have done training. There hasn't been any conferences and events this year. It has been quite a tough year.
Yeah, tough impact on you then, hasn't it? I suppose.
Yeah. But we love Rishi. We love Rishi.
Yeah. So when you're hoping to get back out there, then when you're hoping that you can.
I'm doing bits now. I've got a couple of clients I'm working with where they've got big enough training rooms to do it all social distance, which is great. I was with a client up in Leeds yesterday.
And we have done a lot online.
Yeah,
and people are now, paying. Initially, everything was free online, but now we've got, people paying. I'm very proud actually of how we have pivoted. We have pivoted and gone online.
And it's also pushed us. We've actually created some online programs that people can buy off the shelf now. So we've done some online.
No, it's fine.
Networker opportunities.
So it's you do it in your company of your own. You just get it on Expert Academies, the website, and we've done some stuff on leadership, on customer service, on managing your people, and people can just download those and get an hour of this stuff on their own as they need to do it. Now we want to push that because that maybe then allows us to not run around as much.
It's a bit of a residual income as well, isn't it? From that sort of thing.
It's made us think about other income streams and
we've had to pivot just like you guys. Yeah, we've done the same actually, because we were just purely, weren't we, face to face, and actually we've grown our membership, which is nice because we've gone online. And not only that, we're getting people from Scotland and Holland and the places that so it doesn't matter now, and that's nice, isn't it? We've met some really nice people because of it. Yeah, which is good. So I think a lot of businesses have pivoted, don't you, over this last year, and seen the benefits of such as this sort of stuff,
Absolutely.
I think so it's good. It sounds like you've.
One of my big things is about opportunity out of adversity, and I just think that this has really created a lot of opportunity for
I think it has.
So it's not all bad, is it?
No, it's not all bad.
No, not at all.
Not all bad.
So if people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way?
Well, we're on lots of social. AndyHanselman.com is the obvious one. But then we're on LinkedIn, we're on social media, particularly Twitter. Jill does lots of Twitter-y things.
At Jill T. White.
And I'm at Andy Hanselman. Took us ages to think of those. There are our core ones. And certainly if people did want to look at the online stuff, that's on theexpertacademy.com. But again, you can do it via our website. But andyhanselman.com is the place to go.
Yeah.
Right, okay. And of course, we'll put all these things in the show notes as well for people. So we'll put all your details in there so people, if they haven't quite heard it, they can link on there.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
No,
That's okay. It's been lovely chatting to you and getting to know you and your business.
Good luck. Keep on.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Really nice to meet you both as well. Lovely to meet you both. Yeah, it's good to meet you.
Thanks very much.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, well, we've got another great knowledge share this week. Do you want to tell us all about it, Ian?
Yeah, sure. This week we've got one called Undraw, and that's undraw.co. And this is a website where you can download free illustrations to use in your presentations and slideshows, etc. You can even customize the colour to your own brand. It's really good. Try it out.
Okay, we'll put the details of that in the show notes too. And get in touch if you try it and let us know what you think.
We're almost at the end of this week's episode, but before we go, we're excited to tell you about our bonus episode this Friday on the Friday Fix, where we will be discussing a business-related subject with a fellow business owner who will be sharing their advice, thoughts or knowledge on a particular topic.
This week's episode is called The Importance of Systemising Your Business with Danielle Heward. Our special guests on next week's podcast are Alison and Ray of Al Ray Hypnotherapy. And we're really looking forward to speaking to them and digging deeper into their experiences as a business couple.
Also, if you'd like to join us at one of our online networking meetings, then the link will be in the show notes. You'd be more than welcome. Thanks so much for joining us this week on In Business Talks 2. We hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, all we ask is that you simply tell a friend about the show. We'd really appreciate it.
Until next time, this is Ian and Tracy, and together we are In Business. Goodbye.
Goodbye.